So, I have a premise that I'm writing about these days, and that is that this death of so-called privacy is actually going to make society and human beings a bit more honest.
Yes.
Because everybody's watching, and you are, more cognizant of your behavior when everybody's watching. What do you think about that?
I think you're absolutely right. In fact, that's not just a matter of data sharing, but it's also a matter of the fact that as we get AI, and as we start using things like pattern recognition systems and so forth, we'll be able to run software in our smart glasses in the future, which will be able to tell if the person that you're with is lying.
Exactly right.
Yeah. And not to mention politicians like Donald Trump on the evening news, right? So this is definitely going to produce sort of radical transparency that I think overall will be quite positive.
Exactly. That's how I think about it as well.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple more. Fintech is your area. So what do banks look like 5-10 years from now?
So the biggest bank in the world, 2030, is probably going to be Ant Financial out of China. So they're not a traditional bank, they're a technology company, but they could be in 100 countries, 3 billion mobile wallet users through various platforms, Paytm in India, Globe Cash in, Gcash in the Philippines, Kakao in South Korea, obviously Alipay in China, where they've invested in all of these platforms. So they're sort of trying to create this basic mobile bank account which will enable you to send and move money around the world instantly, but in doing so they get access to credit and all of these other activities that we do centered around the way we make day-to-day payments.
Why do you single out egg? Why can't others do it?
No, they can, but the point is that Jack Ma's view of the world in terms of this, he doesn't think about a bank being bordered by geography. He doesn't think about deposits requiring a branch. So he's already so far ahead of the major banks that are, trying to transition from, a 700-year-old model of banking to the future that, he's already got a good head start. Now, some will be able to compete with him, but I think Ant will be the first $1 trillion financial institution.
Well, on that point, last question. What advice do you have for CEOs and business leaders who are trying to lead their organizations through this digital disruption? From a leadership and people perspective.
No, this is, so if you look at the strongest leaders in technology businesses, they've been quite strong visionaries, and so they've led through their vision. But I think there's a couple of really critical things. If you look at Steve Jobs and Elon Musk, I'll single those two guys out. One of the reasons they were so successful, and to some extent Jack Ma, but is that they thought about the world differently. Not just long-term planning, like Elon Musk planning for humans to be a multi-planetary society, but when they look at the problem of building an autonomous vehicle or electric car or building a spaceship or building an iPhone, they started with this first principles design thinking, is let's start from scratch, redesign it optimally based on the technology today. And that gave them a real advantage in terms of building these ecosystems for the future, because everyone had to adapt to their rules once that was in place. So I think that type of radical engineering thinking is very important in a technology-based world. But secondary to that is the ability to have people within your organization follow, and because things will be changing rapidly, you really need to create a workforce and individuals that are very adaptable and don't fear change, they embrace change. So I really think that adaptability becomes a core skill for individuals in this future world.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. Great talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, and it's great to be back here in KL.